Born in 1988, Tasheka Young was a vibrant, driven woman whose influence extended across Jacksonville, Florida. Known on the airwaves as DJ Tasheka, she gained local prominence through her work at Power 106.1 FM. But beyond her career in radio, Tasheka was a devoted mother raising two young children, ages 3 and 12 months, and was expecting a third with her partner, Bercy Armstrong, who resided in Connecticut. Her apartment at Mission Point on Biscayne Boulevard was a nurturing space where she juggled the roles of mother, educator, and life partner. A proud graduate of Bethune-Cookman University, Tasheka held both bachelor's and master's degrees and had transitioned from broadcasting to a career in teaching, guided by her belief in education as a tool for transformation. Those closest to her described her as outspoken, compassionate, and determined, a woman passionately building a better future for her family. However, the aspirations that shaped her life were tragically extinguished on a humid summer night in July 2022. In the early hours of Saturday, July 23, 2022, at around 1 to 1:30 a.m., a neighbor living beneath Tasheka's apartment was awakened by her infant. As she prepared a feeding bottle, she heard aggressive stomping followed by the unmistakable sound of someone forcing entry into Tasheka's unit. The intruder's path, clearly moving from the front door to the bedroom, was discernible. The neighbor reported hearing Tasheka pleading, followed by a loud, disturbing sound and then silence, save for a crying child. Alarmed, she dialed 911. When officers arrived at 1:45 a.m., they found signs of forced entry. However, the door appeared to have been resecured, and receiving no response to their knocks, they departed without entering. It wasn't until 4:15 p.m., over 14 hours later, that Bercy Armstrong unexpectedly contacted Tasheka's mother asking if she had heard from her daughter. This raised concerns given their strained relationship, prompting her to go to the apartment herself. Upon arrival, Tasheka's mother used her spare key to enter and discovered the harrowing scene. Tasheka lifeless on the bedroom floor, with her baby daughter trembling nearby, clutching her mother's hand. The children were found hungry and soaked, but alive. Detectives soon launched a full-scale investigation. Bercy's surprise appearance at the crime scene and his evasive responses raised red flags. He claimed ignorance about the situation and said he had not been at the apartment for a week. His account was inconsistent, and family members noted a history of tension and past domestic issues between him and Tasheka. During a tense interrogation, Bercy denied involvement, admitted prior disputes, and offered limited cooperation. Investigators became increasingly suspicious when Tasheka's 3-year-old son reportedly said, "Daddy hurt mommy." When questioned about firearms, Bercy claimed he had no current weapons but had been around a friend's gun days earlier. He eventually allowed detectives to search his phone, although location data had been mysteriously wiped since July 14th. As suspicions deepened, detectives executed a search warrant at a property associated with Bercy. In a secluded area beneath outdoor steps, investigators discovered a freshly dug hole hiding a firearm. Additional evidence, including blood-stained clothing and another weapon, was recovered nearby. Forensic
The observed DNA profile is greater than 700 billion times more likely to occur if the samples originated from Tasheka Young than from an unrelated individual.
Analysis later confirmed that one of the guns had been used in Tasheka's murder, and her DNA was found on the clothing. During the interrogation, when presented with...
Put my hand in my pocket, right here. Am I rubbing off the skin cells, and that's why you look in the pocket area?
Yes.
So you could get somebody's skin cells along with somebody's blood from that pocket area and have that mixture, right?
Yes.
Evidence and the son's statement implicating him, Bercy made a sudden attempt to flee but was quickly restrained and taken into custody. On July 17, 2024,
truly is an awful, tragic, desperately sad situation.
After a 3-day trial in the 4th Judicial Circuit in Duval County, Florida, Bercy Jerome Armstrong Jr. was found guilty of second-degree murder in the deaths of Tasheka Young and her unborn child. The jury concluded that he discharged a firearm causing death. At the sentencing hearing a month later, Tasheka's mother, Olivia Young, gave a moving...
I tragically lost my my child on July 23rd, 2022. And now I raise my 2 grandchildren as my own. This requires a lot.
Victim impact statement. As she shared the pain of losing her daughter and raising her grandchildren, Bercy interrupted with a loud outburst, accusing her of lying. His lack of remorse only strengthened the court's resolve. Bercy Armstrong was sentenced to life imprisonment on...
God be the glory. We should move on now, y'all. Justice was served.
I felt good because Tasheka was standing there with me and saying, Mama, you got to be strong and say what you got to say. And that's what I did. If you were in need for something, Tasheka will give it to you. And that was my baby. She's just like Mama.
And affirming that she felt her daughter's spirit with her.
Sweet moment. It's bitter to the point that we did lose 2 lives. But it's sweet to the point that justice was served today. And we are elated that justice was served today.